Hey, my name is Bella. I've been to 6 or 7 countries, but today I'm going to tell you about my trip to Tulum, Mexico. So I went to Tulum to celebrate one of my girlfriend's birthdays. She had just started DJing, things had started getting really successful, so she wanted to celebrate. She gathered like a group of 5 or 6 of us. So we're anticipating taking lots of photos. We're anticipating a really fun trip, and we were gonna be there for like 8 days. Also, you know, she's half Black and Mexican, I'm half Black and Mexican, so we felt like we were going back to our motherland. It was gonna be like this huge like reunion type of thing. We were gonna get back to our roots, and it was just gonna be a really fun time. So I get into Mexico at like 5 a.m. I'm sitting around at the airport for hours before they get there. The first thing my friends do when they get off of the plane is tell me about this really weird Uber ride that they had, or Uber driver. I guess their Uber driver was I don't know what to call him, like a Hotepish man. And he started telling them about the dangers of traveling while Black. So he starts going into this whole thing about, you know, Black people have richer blood and richer organs and, you know, more valuable, and therefore they get kidnapped, they get killed, they get their organs stolen, and they end up on the black market.
Well.
That's in the back of our mind, but we're kind of like, all right, clearly he was crazy. So the trip starts, you know, we get into Tulum. We have this beautiful Airbnb, brand new, fully developed loft, very gentrified. Just gonna put that out there. We ride our bikes into town every day. We start making friends with the locals, and we find our favorite restaurant. We're sitting there, we're having a couple shots, and we hear British accents.
Keep it British.
Now at this point, we've heard nothing but Spanish, so it was nice to hear somebody speaking English. So we make friends with these 2 British guys, early 20s, very tall, very blonde, very non-melanated.
Them crackers.
But they're cool. Nonetheless, they're really great. So we strike up a conversation, we exchange numbers. They tell us briefly about this loft that they have that's beachside, and they make it sound really cool. And they invite us to come back there, you know, throughout our trip. So we're like, okay, cool. We get back to our Airbnb, and all of a sudden they start texting us. And they're really adamant about us going over to their loft that night. And at this point, you know, we've had a full day, we're tired, so we're like, no, maybe not tonight. Then they offered to get us a cab.
No!
Then they offer to come pick us up.
No!
Then they start telling us about how amazing this loft is.
No!
And it starts to get a little strange, because at this point we've said no a multitude of times, and they're just being really extra about it. Also, they start sending us photos of this villa, but they're not photos from inside the villa like they had taken them. They were photos straight from Airbnb. I think at one point one of us joked, they're probably trying to steal our organs, and we just called it a day, like laughed it off, called it a day. So we're outside of this bar, and our British friends are outside there too. They start talking to us about their villa again, and how we need to go to this villa, and how it's so amazing. And it eerily sounds like the exact same speech that they gave us a few nights before, like they had rehearsed it. I think they felt that we were kind of uncomfortable and didn't want to go back to the villa, so they instead invited us to this jungle rave. And that we were kind of down for, because we don't necessarily have to hang out with them. So when we ask them for the address, or for a flyer, or for information, they tell us, yeah, no, we can't give you that, but we can take you. So I'm already like, I'm not about to go into the jungle with this random white man, because who knows what could happen. What am I gonna say my location is? I'm between this tree and that tree. Out of nowhere, a 3rd UK British white blonde man comes up.
Another one.
And knows our whole life story. So he starts with, wow, you guys look so tan. Mind you, the entire time that these men have talked to us, they've commented about how we look, what our skin color looks like, how tan we are, how healthy we look. So that was also very strange and off-putting. And then he starts with the same exact speech of why we need to go to this villa. And he concludes his speech with, it's really secluded, there's no one around for miles.
Oh, hell no!
That was weird. We're a little paranoid, but we keep thinking about our Hotep Uber driver telling us that we're gonna get our organs stolen. And then we really start thinking about it, like, what's actually stopping these British UK men from turning us into drug mules, stealing our organs, Or at the very least, just trying to hook up with a bunch of women of color in a foreign country and go back to the UK with a story. But how they went about it was just so creepy that I genuinely feel there's like an 85% chance they were trying to steal our organs and or kill us.
And as you can see, I am not dead.
We ended up having a great trip after that. The guys never reappeared, and so I would definitely go back to Mexico. I think I've been back since that trip, and I've never encountered another UK organ thief.